This should be played at high volume, preferably in a residential area.
You know what I used to think? That a messy desk was just a sign of being busy. I told myself, yeah, sure, there's a pile of random notes and snack wrappers here, but that just means I'm working hard. But if I'm being honest with you, that was a lie I told myself to feel okay about ignoring it. The truth? That messy desk was a mirror, reflecting my mental clutter, my scattered focus, my stress. I didn't realize it back then, but every time I sat down at that desk, I was starting my day with noise. Even before I checked my phone, even before I opened my laptop, my environment was already telling me, you're behind, you're overwhelmed, you're not in control. Now maybe you're listening to me right now and thinking, okay, but how is wiping down a table going to change my life? And I get it. I would have rolled my eyes at this too, but hear me out. When I finally started clearing my space, it wasn't about becoming a neat freak. It was about making a decision to no longer accept chaos as normal. See, clutter does something sneaky to you. You don't notice it at first, but over time, it becomes the background music of your life, and not the relaxing kind. It's more like a static hum, draining you in ways you can't see. It chips away at your focus. It makes small tasks feel heavier. And here's the worst part. It convinces you that the heaviness is just you. How I discovered the link between my desk and my mind. One day, I had one of those mornings where everything felt wrong. I woke up late, spilled coffee on my shirt, opened my inbox to a flood of problems. By the time I sat at my desk, I was already annoyed. But then I looked at the desk, and for some reason, that morning, I actually saw it. Stacks of paper I hadn't touched in weeks, receipts I didn't even remember keeping, random tech cables, pens with no ink, half-empty water bottles. And in that moment, it hit me. No wonder I feel so overwhelmed. I'm starting my day surrounded by unfinished business. That's what clutter is. It's visual procrastination. It's a physical reminder of all the little things you haven't dealt with yet. And whether you realize it or not, your brain is registering every single one of them. Why we avoid cleaning the space that matters most. Here's the funny thing. Most of us avoid cleaning our desk, even though we spend more time there than almost anywhere else. Why? Because deep down, it's not about laziness. It's about what cleaning represents. When you clean your desk, you're forced to face yourself. You find that unpaid bill you shoved under your keyboard. You see the sticky note with the number of a friend you've been meaning to call for months. You see the abandoned project you told yourself you'd finish when things slow down. And facing all that, it's uncomfortable. So instead, we just work around the mess. We make a little square of empty space for our laptop and call it good enough. But here's the thing. Good enough doesn't make you feel good. It keeps you in a mental limbo where your energy is divided between the task in front of you and the silent weight of the mess around you. The first time I actually cleaned, for real one, Saturday morning, I finally decided to do it. Not just a quick push everything to one side kind of clean, but a real clean. I told myself, this is it. I'm going to reset this space like it's a fresh start. I grabbed a trash bag. I pulled everything off my desk. I sorted every single thing into 3 piles. Keep trash and deal with now. If something didn't serve me, if it didn't make my work easier, if it didn't make me happy, it was gone. And let me tell you, halfway through, I was sweating. Not because it was physically hard, but because emotionally, it felt like I was digging through my own thoughts. Every little item had a story. Some of those stories I didn't even want to remember. But I kept going. When I finally finished, I sat down at that empty desk, and I swear my brain felt quieter, like someone turned down the static. For the first time in months, I felt like I had space, both physically and mentally. The science backs this up. If you're the kind of person who needs proof, here it is. Studies have shown that clutter competes for your attention in the same way that a crying baby or a flashing notification does. Your brain has a limited amount of focus, and when your environment is chaotic, part of that focus is constantly stolen by your surroundings. It's why you feel more drained in a messy room than in a tidy one, even if you're not physically doing more. A clean desk is not just nice, it's a tool for your mind. It's a way of saying to your brain, you can focus now, you're safe here, nothing else is demanding your attention. The shift that happened in my life, after that first big clean, something changed in me. It wasn't just my desk, it was the way I approached my days. I noticed I was finishing tasks faster, I was thinking clearer. The thing about change is, it rarely comes from giant leaps. It comes from small, almost boring decisions that compound over time. And that's what cleaning my desk taught me. I started to realize that every time I cleared that space, I was practicing a kind of mental reset. It was my way of telling myself, whatever happened today, I'm starting fresh tomorrow. That feeling became addictive in the best way. I'd end my day by putting things back where they belonged, wiping down the surface, even lighting a candle for a few minutes just to signal to my brain that work was done. The next morning, I'd sit down to a blank canvas, and that blank canvas gave me permission to think differently. What surprised me most was how this little act began to bleed into other parts of my life. I found myself cleaning up the notes on my phone. I started deleting old emails I didn't need. I unfollowed people on social media whose content didn't inspire me. I even started paying attention to the conversations I was having, asking myself if they were adding to my life or just cluttering it. Because the truth is, clutter isn't just physical. There's digital clutter, emotional clutter, schedule clutter, and once you start clearing one area, you begin to see the mess everywhere else. At first, it's overwhelming, but then you realize, if I can handle my desk, I can handle this too. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that my life suddenly became perfect. It didn't. There were still stressful days, unexpected problems, and moments where I didn't feel in control. But the difference was, I had a foundation. My desk became a place I could always come back to, a place where my mind could breathe. And maybe you've never thought about your environment that way. Maybe you've been so used to the noise that you don't remember what quiet feels like. I'm telling you right now, it's worth finding out. Here's what I want you to do. Not tomorrow, not when you have time, but today. Clear one space in your life completely. I don't care if it's your desk, your bedside table, your kitchen counter. Completely empty it, wipe it down, and only put back the things that serve a purpose or bring you joy. That's it. When you sit in front of that space, I want you to notice how your body reacts. Notice if you breathe deeper. Notice if your mind feels a little lighter. That's the power of a reset, and once you feel it, you'll want more of it. People think that changing your life has to be dramatic, quitting your job, moving cities, starting a business. But sometimes it's as simple as proving to yourself that you can control the square foot in front of you. Because if you can control that, you can control the next square foot and the next. I think we underestimate how much our physical environment speaks to us. Every object you keep is saying something. It's either saying you're in control or it's saying you're stuck in the past. And I don't know about you, but I don't want to live surrounded by reminders that I'm stuck. I want my environment to push me forward, not hold me back. The other thing I noticed is how people around me started responding differently. When someone would walk into my workspace, they'd often comment on how clean it looked, how calm it felt. And that's when it hit me. The energy you create in your space affects other people too. Your order, your calm, your clarity, it's contagious. So if you've been feeling scattered, unfocused, or like life is just a series of problems piling up, maybe it's time to stop trying to fix everything in your head and start fixing what's right in front of you. Sometimes your mind follows your hands. This isn't just about productivity, it's about dignity. It's about telling yourself you're worth living in a space that reflects who you want to be, not who you've been settling to be. And I don't care how busy you are, you can give yourself that. The funny thing is, the cleaner my desk got, the more I wanted to protect it. I became intentional about what I allowed to touch that surface. A bill? It was dealt with immediately. A random piece of paper? Either filed or thrown away. I wasn't going to let the mess creep back in because I'd felt the difference and I wasn't willing to lose it. And maybe that's the real takeaway. You protect what you value. If you don't value your space, you won't protect it. If you don't value your mind, you won't protect it either. But once you connect the two, once you realize your environment is just an external version of your inner world, you start taking both more seriously. There's a verse in the Bible that says, "Let all things be done decently and in order." That's 1 Corinthians 14:40. And it's not about being perfect or rigid, it's about living in a way where things are aligned, where the inside and the outside match. When your space is in order, your spirit feels it.